Coming to you live from the Haven of Asgartha, this is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
I'm Neelan.
And we are here for our first on-camera game.
We played a lot of this on BGA when Kickstarter was running.
Altered TCG. They call it Altered TCG. Yeah. I'm now realizing, is that trading card game? The card game?
Trading card game? I'm going to go with trading card
Let's go with trading card game. Yeah, it's a game with booster packs.
Absolutely.
That sums up half of what you need to know about it.
Do cool things. Yeah.
Hopefully cool things.
I mean, in my case, usually.
If you built a good enough deck. So we are playing with two of the starter decks. Mm-hmm. I am Muna, which is... I think I gravitate towards them because my favorite color in Magic the Gathering is green. Even though they are only somewhat like...
But they have some of that like big creature energy, which I kind of always liked about green as well. I'm playing the red faction, Bravos, which also seems kind of magic-y red. It's like quick effects, like... Get in, get out, and then
it is. Yeah, I think that these actually do have a lot of analogs to the colors in Magic, despite it not being a creature combat game in the same way. And there are 6 factions here, so one of them.
Right, one of them is like a weird amalgamation of some whole new invention. Who can say?
I guess if I had to say the one that has no equivalent in Magic, it's maybe the pink faction, the one that rolls dice and is more random than the others. That
kind of more like betting and push your luck a little bit, basically.
Yeah. I enjoy it, but it is a different experience than most. So we are racing in this game, right? We each have a companion and a hero, and they are on these expeditions exploring, trying to meet in the middle, which we do. Help me fill in the gaps for the flavor of this game. We do by playing characters into their expeditions that are
I think that's the
helping
idea.
them?
I guess so, yeah. There's kind of broadly like 3 different colors that they can be pushing along, and each character is stronger in different colors. So you are... that character is going into play on that expedition to like move them towards the middle, I guess is the idea. Overcoming obstacles, fighting things along the way, presumably.
I guess I haven't read all the literature in the box. Is our deck supposed to represent their expedition party, or
I think so.
The characters that they meet along the way?
Not sure.
Me neither.
Let's say that they are our expedition party that we are now sending out to these.
And I guess I'm just now realizing, like, I am Teija and Nauraa. You are Kojo.
I'm Kojo and Booda. Yeah.
So these are hero cards, but are they always a pair of characters, and they are the hero?
I think that is literally the idea. Like this is Kojo, this is Booda, I presume.
That makes sense. Yeah. So Teija is trying to meet Nauraa somewhere on this expedition. All right, so we've, I think, already shuffled our decks.
Yep.
We're going to draw 6 cards and immediately play 3 of them face down as mana.
Yeah, this does the thing where you're choosing the cards from your hand to be your mana source, which is something I always like.
I'm a fan of that, yeah. It does lead, I apologize, video watchers, it does lead to maybe a few moments of having to think about our hands here. Let's get rid of...
So, like, I mean, the general decision here, kind of, right, is, like, expensive cards you don't want to have in your opening hand. So that's the first thing I'm looking at least.
But you do start with 3 mana, and the vast majority of, at least, the cards that I've seen in this game have cost 3 or less.
That is true. And I think, especially in my deck, they tend to be on the cheaper side, so it does feel like a slightly trickier thing. One thing that is also kind of fun in this is that there are variations of the same cards that have, like, can be stronger if they're the rare version of that card. So sometimes it's like, okay, I'll mana the common version, keep the rare version.
True, yeah. Yeah, it's an odd thing where the same cards exist at every rarity, but actually have their mechanics tweaked. Usually they're numbers, but sometimes they even have more text at the higher rarities or something. Let's do this.
I think you said something earlier, which was probably true, that this is probably a good chunk of the strategy of the game is this opening move of like 3 cards.
I said that was in our off-camera game that I was like, I bet a lot of games are won and lost on this decision. Because the game's not actually that many rounds either. It's like a back and forth single action thing, but 5-ish rounds.
Totally, because like theoretically, you're advancing these tokens 1 space, 1 space, 1 space, 1 space, and when they meet, that's when the game ends.
And so frequently, some rounds you're moving both of them in space, so it could be as soon as round 4.
3-4 rounds. Yeah, exactly. 4 rounds. Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to flip the first player?
Oh, we probably should. Yeah. Here, you can flip. I'll call it this time.
Blue or yellow?
Yeah, I'm going to say blue.
Okay. That was a terrible flip, but yellow is.
It's binding. Okay. That means you're going first. Just before we start, let me suggest that you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That would be that's the only way to support Optimal Play, so we appreciate it. And Board Games host, Neelan's a host. Board Games host on the Neelan Barrage podcast.
Exactly, the Neelan Barrage podcast coming to you every 2 weeks. No, the Board Game Barrage podcast is something I host with my good friends Kelly, Mark, and Christina. We put out an episode every 2 weeks.
Check that out anywhere you find
you can find podcasts.
Do you have a preferred place for people to?
That's a good question.
Something.
No. Wherever is convenient for you.
Fair enough. Okay, so you are first,
I will take
right?
the first turn, yeah.
I should get my deck out of the way here. I'm making kind of a mess here. We have these like 2 expeditions that we're playing into. One above our hero, or our hero card on the hero side, and one below on the expedition side. So normally you'd play this game sitting across from each other, right? But we're for filming purposes, side by side. I think it'll work fine.
Yeah, so the first thing that's going to happen is my hero special property is if I'm the first player, which is going to be every other turn, I create my Booda companion token, and he just goes straight into my expedition. So now I have 2 power in each of the 3 colors in this expedition, which is a good, strong place to be in right at the start of the game.
I didn't realize that token character that you generate there just is.
Oh yeah, that is
Booda, is the companion.
Okay. Okay, I still will take the first turn, and what I'm going to do is let's use all of my mana.
I love that.
To put Haven Warrior into play on the hero expedition side. So she is a 4/4/4.
Damn.
So that's pretty strong.
I would say so. Okay. So it's my turn then next, because you just go back and forth taking 1 action. My character, my hero's ability is the first character I play each afternoon, which is the phase of the game, the flavorful name for the phase of the game where you do things, gets a boost, which is a +1/+1/+1 counter. So I'm going to play Spindle Harvesters to... Geez, that's a 4/4/4? Is it worth even competing in that already? I'm like, which doing the math here.
Is the thing I do like about this is that you effectively have every turn of consideration of do I even want to compete in one of these 2 lanes? And which is, to be fair, like I would say me coming in strong on 1 lane is probably a bad strategic move because it does give you all the power to just ignore that lane entirely.
Good point. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play Spindle Harvesters, I think on the companion side, where I can be actually competitive. This is a 1/0/0, so it just has 1 strength in the green. I don't know if there are names for the colors, but I won't worry about it. It gets a boost from my hero, so it's actually a 2/1/1, and its ability says I gain Anchored. So another unusual thing about this game is that all of these cards we're playing don't remain in play past the end of the round. But this one does for 1 extra round.
Yeah.
And that's my turn. You're tapped out. Is there anything else you're doing?
I would, if I had abilities, I could use them. I don't have any. I will pass.
Okay, then I'll spend my other 2 mana on... Let's see, this should block you from being able to move your companion. So even though you win over there, I think this is the play. Kitsune, she is a 0/3/2, and when I play her from hand, each player draws a card.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Happy with that.
And then you've already passed, but I am also done, so I'll pass. You clearly win on the hero side.
Right. So that means this expedition advances down 1. And at this point, like you said...
So here's where it gets a little mathy, but looking at green, I have 2, thanks to my boost, so ties, no one moves. I have 4 on the mountain symbol and 3 on the water symbol. Right. So I beat you on at least 1. I will move my companion, and you tie, but that doesn't move you at all.
Right.
Okay, we do get to flip these, right? To figure out where we are. You're in the mountains. I'm in the woods.
Okay. And then I will lose my token, and this will go to
we'll start a reserve. And this one would go to the reserve, but instead it just loses its anchored token. And we are to a fresh round, right?
Yep.
All right. Can untap. It's morning. We change first player, ready our cards, draw 2 cards, and can put 1 into mana, which is a pretty... One of... I'm surprised that this is happening in the starter deck. Like, there's not that many cards for this game yet. I have one that, as far as I can tell, is strictly better than the other.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I definitely had one of those in my opening hand as well.
Oh, it's not... Okay, I misread the numbers a little bit.
Oh, wait, you mean two different cards?
Different cards.
Oh, I was
yeah, not just like a one's a rare.
Yeah.
I thought that they had essentially the same numbers, but one has an ability. That's not true, actually. The numbers are a little different. So it's not strictly better, but I do think one is clearly better. So I'll put the one that I don't like into mana.
I'll put that one out into mana.
All right, how am I organizing myself here? This is my reserve. I'll have my discard pile above my deck. That's the plan. Okay. And it's to me first, huh?
Yeah.
I have a leg up on you in the south. I don't... Damn. Okay. My mana is not lining up well with my costs here. I think I will go ahead and play Yongsu Verdant Weaver. Okay. This is a 2-cost 2/2/2 that from my hero ability gains a boost, becomes a 3/3/3. It says if you control 2 or more plants, it gains 2 boosts. Okay. I do not have 2 plants.
And that would only be at the time you played her, presumably?
Yes, I think it's just checking now when I play it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 1 plant, but I couldn't get another one in play, so just playing it anyway.
3/3/3 up there. Okay, I will start by playing Ratatosker up here. Comes into play with 3 boosts. So this is now a 4/4/4 for mana cost 1, which seems a little bit absurd.
Actually, isn't that ability... Oh, that icon is like it's an exhaust ability. Or no.
Sorry.
That's when it's played from your reserve. Yeah, get that out of here.
You're right. Well, you know what? I'll leave that there. But it doesn't get the boost.
So it's a 1/1/1 now, and I will know that you're capable of a 4/4/4 later. Yeah.
Later. Yeah, I thought that seemed a little bit weird, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, there's not a ton of icons in this game, but they are very important. So we've got to learn them up front. I have 2 left. I think... I wish I could pass and see what you did next. I will spend my other 2 to play Kitsune from my reserve. So it's going to get a fleeting token, which says it's fully discarded after this time. Okay. And each player draws a card is only... That symbol is when played from hand. So that doesn't do anything. It's just a 0/3/2.
Okay.
And that... puts my totals here at 2/4/3.
2/4/3.
Yeah.
2/4/3, and 2 of that is on green, which is what you actually care about. And you're tapped out for mana, is that right?
I am.
Okay, let's do this then. Oh no, that's not even gonna get me there. 2/4/3, huh? That's not good. Okay, then I'm just going to do the following. I'm going to bring my Haven Warrior back. Into play in the Companion Expedition.
4/4/4 is pretty perfect for you there. Yeah. I mean, Win is 4/4/4 bad.
Yeah, that's fair. Because I'm playing from a reserve, she has Fleeting, and then that's my turn.
Oh, and she had, my eye overlooks these.
Yes.
These abilities in a different colored text box.
Yeah, so that is an ability I could have used with her from the reserve.
Yeah. Do you remember, is that your whole turn when you do that?
I think it probably is.
So it's also...
That might be a free action. Honestly, I don't remember. But
yeah, if it comes up, we can pause and double check.
Sure.
Because that could be a way to stall and not use your mana until later. Also, some extra incentive for those. I'm done. I'm tapped out.
Okay.
We're spent. Yeah, I'll pass.
Pass.
Okay, so up on the hero side, it's 3/3/3 to 1/1/1. So I'll advance.
Yep.
And then here, I care about 2 for moving. You clearly beat me, and you beat me, on playing things. So you advance.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, so I will advance. You'll be blocked. This now is out of the game.
Yeah.
And my Ratatosker comes to my reserve.
Sunni's out. These Harvesters and the Verdant Weaver are in there. Oh, but their boost's clear. I gotta remember to take those boost tokens off. Okay. All right, you are starting
up, which means Booda is back.
Interesting. This is so the rare versions of at least several of the cards in my deck. I mean, I know I was just saying the same thing about different cards earlier, but I don't think that all my rare cards are strictly better.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I mean, I'll just because it's interesting to talk about the game. give a little info about my hand, but I have the common version of this Yongsu that I just played, and it's a 3-cost 3/3/3.
Okay,
Which
I see what you say. So yeah,
not strictly better,
not strictly
right?
better. No. I think that and I think now that you mentioned, I had seen that before when we were playing on BGA. So yeah, that is definitely a thing.
It's like my Hearthstone experience teaches me that it is worth generally cards that have their costs and their stats decreased are better because if you're getting the same text
that makes
from
sense.
them for that same price. So it is probably all around better, but it is not always better. Is I just think interesting.
That's going into mana, I think.
How am I gonna get going with this deck? I will go ahead and... This is tricky. I'm gonna have 5.
5 mana.
Alright. Fine. That one's gone. Okay, bring it.
Okay, I am going to start by... Where are we at here? Down here. For 2 mana, I'm going to bring in Haven Trainee.
Tell me about it.
Haven Trainee, if it was coming from the reserve, would gain 2 boosts, but is a 3/1/1 in the green zone, which is what we're mostly fighting over this round.
That seems to be a real theme for you over there. The bigger the second time stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of it does seem to have this, it's weak early game, but then sort of comes back from the reserve stronger. Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
So I'm at 5 in the green over here.
These numbers... Geez, 5 in the woods. Alright, it's not out of the question for me to compete with that. How much... You still have 3 mana, though?
I have 3 mana.
That's rough. So... I am going to just... I'm going to start by just spending 1 mana. Play my Spindle Harvesters from reserve. So it's, again, just a 1 in the woods, and that's it. And it gains... Well, it gains what? Fleeting and Anchored?
Right?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Because I'm playing from the reserve, so it gets Fleeting, but also its text says it gains Anchored, and it can have both?
Yes.
So it just lasts 2 rounds, then is discarded?
I think that's right.
I'm just double-checking that they don't, cancel out or something.
I actually don't know the answer to that, but I think that that's probably right, that it will have Anchored, but it won't go to your reserve next time around.
Yeah.
And it does have the boost from your...
Thank you,
Teija,
yes.
right?
So it is a 2/1/1.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is another point where I kind of wish I could just pass, but I have to do something here. So what I'm going to do is I will play Ratatoskr, who comes into Hero Expedition, and now does come in with those 3 boosts.
Oh, and that costs 3 the second time. Okay,
Yeah.
so you kind of are paying proportional to it each time.
For sure.
But still, a 4/4/4. I'm not in good shape to move at all this round.
Like that?
Yeah. Okay, so how can I best set myself up for a good turn next time is more the question then. And it's probably to play this Muna Druid, because I don't think I'm going to move. It almost doesn't matter which expedition I play it to, but this is just a 3/2/2, and then it has the discard from reserve ability to give a character with hand cost 3 or less Anchored.
Got it, yeah.
So hopefully set up some big swings in the future, but for now...
Which is something I also find quite interesting, is playing stuff out just to get it into your reserve.
Yeah.
Is a cool feature.
Yeah, it's interesting that you don't have any way to get it, to put it straight into your reserve.
Right.
You just have to... Because there are plenty of times when I would rather skip that step entirely.
Exactly. I'm going to pass.
Same. Did not optimize my mana that turn. Okay, well, your 4/4/4 advances you on the hero side, and we only care about green here because we're both in the woods, and you blow me away. Yeah. Brutal. Luckily, your board clears, and I have an Anchored thing at least.
This is into reserve, and Ratatoskr is out of the game.
Okay, drawing 2 cards, and then I will lead. Ooh, this is... We've done it.
You've got it.
I've assembled the combo.
Master card. A master hand finally.
I mean, we'll see, but I did get some of the sorts of cards I was hoping for here. Like the... Oh, wait, I got a mana something.
This is your reserve, just out of interest?
Yes.
No reason, just curious.
Okay, Yeah, I mean, I do have to... I know in our off-camera game you really wrecked me by returning some cards to my hand. I have to be careful about putting too many eggs in one basket, I guess. But it's what my deck does.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It might just be that your deck has a leg up in our matchup.
Right, which would actually... That's one of the things I'm curious about this in the long course. Of like, you know, there are definitely matchups in a lot of these games that are just more advantageous to one side than the other. And
that's where you get the meta game, where people then change the way they're building their decks to accommodate for that.
Right.
And but when you're just picking two starter decks and going head to head, it's hard to tell.
To do that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a. Oh, let me mana. Turn that card to mana and spend 2 on a. Where am I? I'll put the Sneezer. No, I'm gonna put the Sneezer Shroom here.
So is a
1/1 that gets a boost from my hero's ability, and its text just says, "I gain anchored."
Okay.
So it will anchor. Okay.
So you're looking pretty good down there. No, you're at
I have four in the woods, and then it only matters for trying to block you from moving, but I have 3 in the mountains and water.
3 mountains and water. Okay. That's something that we can work with. I'm just realizing I think I forgot to do my mana step now that I think
go ahead and do it.
I feel like that's a pretty awkward thing to now do halfway through the round, but I'll just do it regardless.
Yeah, but it was,
let's just do that.
This is our second ever in-person game of this, so we'll afford some grace.
Okay, so that's there. That's definitely not a card that I had been planning on doing until that moment, so we're all good. Okay, let's just do this. I'm going to play for 4 mana. Kappa.
Kappa?
Cute. Kappa is a 4/4/5 and nothing else special going on. But that is,
that's a lot.
If I'm not mistaken, enough to block you.
You have 2 mana left?
I have 2 mana left.
Don't love that. Now I feel like I need to go even harder in that area. Because I have a big... Okay. I'm going to... Oh, this is... Okay, I'm going to actually go this route. I'm going to pay 3 for Yongsu Verdant Weaver. Okay. It's another copy of the one in my reserve, but I'm playing this common version from my hand. So it's a 3-cost 3/3/3 that if I control 2 or more plants, it gains 2 boosts. Okay. It does. I do, rather. I'm so non-committal about where to play it, so it's going to be a 5/5/5. Can I borrow one of your boost tokens? I'm actually out of my starter deck's boosts. So I could either like clinch this but hand you this if you have anything you can play there, or I can just compete here. It's a tough call. I think I'm gonna go up here.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Over to you.
Do you have a favorite card in my deck, Brandon?
No!
Intimidation.
Are you intimidating me?
I am playing Intimidation on Yongsu.
Yep.
This is a fleeting card. It goes straight to my discard pile, but return target character or permanent with hand cost 4 or less to its owner's hand.
Yep, that's the card I was whining about. Okay, so that returns my hand, and now my plan was to give it anchored, and that's moot.
I thought it might be.
So all that I could do with my druid here is give those spindle harvesters anchored, which is not nothing. But I guess based on my current board state, I don't really need to clear space in my reserve. You can only have 2 cards in your reserve, so that would be a consideration. But I guess at this point I could save that. So I think I pass.
Okay.
not in good shape here.
It's looking pretty rough for you, but I'll pass and we'll go to
Okay, so literally in 0 to 0 at the top. All right.
I will be moving up here. And we will flip this card over.
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in the water.
Okay. And I didn't move at all, right?
Nope.
We tied on... I only cared about woods and we tied. Okay, brutal.
That is out.
Harvesters are gone. My sneezer shroom loses its anchor. Woof. Okay.
My first turn, which means Booda is back.
Let's... Okay. I have 6. All right.
This feels like this would be good against another deck, but I'm just going to put that into mana.
I don't think I'm going to mana a card.
Ooh. It's funny. My inclination is always to mana, but like I'm sure that there are times where that makes...
I was just looking at it at least like this turn.
Yeah.
A 7th mana doesn't probably change my plan versus 6.
Totally. And I think especially in the position you're in where you just need to block me at all costs, if that's better
but at the same time, that card is also not... it's not like I was going to play all 4 of the cards in my hand either, so I guess that's something that as we play this more, we'll probably
figure out for sure.
Figure that strategy out. Okay, you're starting, huh?
Yep.
You got your Booda.
I got Booda. And this is actually, I will say, in the times that we did play this in BGA, feels to be like one of the weirder things about this, but it feels like I am now incentivized just to focus on one lane. Because I only need to push one of them in order to win.
Yeah, so if you... Because I'm what, 5 spaces apart? Yeah. So if I move both every turn and you just move one, you'll win. That's true.
This has fleeting, but we are now at 6 in the blue.
Oof.
Over here.
Okay. And 6 in the woods, which is what...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that, but that's...
Matters to me.
Feels good, too.
Well, I can... That was only 2 mana?
That was only 2 mana.
Oh, I guess that's because she's fleeting and she's rare, but that is so strong.
Yeah.
That is so much stats for that. Okay.
Especially when she has a reserve cost, but can't go to the reserve.
I think that there are ways for cards to end up in the reserve.
Maybe,
I can imagine a card that says, take a random card from your opponent's hand and put it into their reserve.
It's interesting because something about... She does specifically say... If I would... Oh, no, that's if you... Never mind. Yeah, that's if she would come into play, she would gain fleeting. So you're probably right. If you would come into reserve from my hand, maybe, or deck, that would make sense.
Maybe I will go ahead and... Oh, wait. This is... Yeah, I think this is the way to go. Okay. You care about just water there. All right. I am going to spend 3... Hate to give this to you, but I am going to play a Daughter of Yggdrasil. This, when I play it from hand, says target opponent draws a card, so you can draw a card. I will put it... Now, this one's going to go up top. Okay. And this is my first play, so it gets a boost from my hero ability, so it is a 6/6/4.
Okay. 6/6/4 up there. Okay, I am going to play from my reserve for 4 mana. I will play Kappa.
Oh, yeah. I should be doing a better job of paying attention to your reserve, because that should give me a pretty good idea of what's coming. You have so much.
I have a large amount of blue at this point.
Yep.
I think that is at 5, 4,
11. Have we seen double digits before?
I don't think we have.
Okay, I have 2.
I believe in you. Come back in the blue zone.
Okay. I am going to spend 3 on Yongsu Verdant Weaver. You have 1 mana left? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think I'm comfortably doing fine up there. Okay, so he's back. This is the one you intimidated out of play before. Mm-hmm. When I do control 2 plants, my Shroom and my Daughter of Yggdrasil, so he gets 2 boosts, making him 5/5/5. So 7/7/7 here, which is not enough on any.
Yeah.
For me, maybe also knowing I care about green.
Yeah. But you'd still need 10.
All right. Anything for your turn?
No, I am just going to pass.
Okay. I will go ahead and discard my Muna Druid from the reserve to have a character that costs 3 or less gain anchored.
Okay.
I was actually thinking it would be this one, but this actually has higher stats. Yeah, so I guess I will anchor Yongsu.
Okay.
And the Daughter of Yggdrasil, if I play it out of my reserve to get those stats back, you don't draw another card. It's only from hand, so... Yeah, I think that's that decision. And you've already passed, so I guess whether or not... We don't have to figure out whether that was a free action or not, right? So I pass now, though.
Okay. So I feel very comfortable that I'm moving up over there.
And I move here. So I still have to move 4 spaces without letting you move again.
1, which is that position, especially what we talked about earlier, where it's like, okay, now I feel exceedingly comfortable just to go hard in a single lane.
Right. Okay, I only have room for one of these in my reserve. It'll be the Daughter of Yggdrasil. And I'll let the Sneezer Shroom go to my discard since I don't have room in reserve. I believe that's how that works. Okay. Fresh round. You don't have your token.
I don't have Booda.
I have to really turn it on here. Well, I can kind of turn it on.
Like that. Let's get rid of you.
Okay, I'm going to mana this. Okay, hopefully not the last round of the game. That's my goal. I'm looking at, I need green on both or blue at the top. We're at the same spot, green and blue at top.
Yeah.
And then you have the addition of being able to move with mountains.
Which also feels like a nice position to be in because you don't particularly want to go hard on mountains at the bottom here.
Yeah. But all my cards are fine at mountains, so...
No.
And I'm starting with this 5/5/5
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
You already have...
I wish I didn't have to go
big
first.
down there.
But I will... I'm going to start with another... 3... I'm thinking out my mana here. I will play a Sneezer Shroom up top. It will gain a boost from my hero, making it a 2/2/2. And it has the ability I gain anchor, just like the other one I played. What's new on the rare version is at noon, which is kind of the start of game phase, or start of round phase, it gains a boost. So it's a 2/2/2 now, and if there's another round, it'll be a 3/3/3,
nice. Which
would be nice. We will see.
Okay, I will start us off with Sun Wukong for 3 in the companion zone. This is that same one that gets stronger from my reserve, but right now it's a 2/4/2.
Yeah, so at least 3 different cards in your deck that work that way?
Yeah.
That have that same ability?
Yeah, it's the same as this guy. Yeah, it seems to be the theme. Which, funny enough, did not come up so much in our previous game.
No, we played the same decks and I don't remember seeing any of those. But they're 40-card decks.
Yep.
Decent variety there. Okay, so currently... You would win. No, you wouldn't quite win.
Yeah,
you don't have enough to win currently.
Okay. The bottom here,
Okay, we love that. So I will go ahead and pay 3 mana to play Daughter of Yggdrasil from my reserve. So I'm adding 5/5/3, and it's fleeting because it was from my reserve. Okay. So currently, we only care about green and orange, about woods and mountains. I'm at 10/10 here, and 2s across the board up top. All right, bring it.
That kind of changes things a little bit for me. You got 3 mana left, is that right?
I do.
Okay, let's do... Do I want to pivot to a different color here? I'm not sure. Might not be the worst idea, but I'm going to do this, which is at the cost of 3. 1, 2, 3. I will play physical training on Wukong.
Okay.
This gives him 3 boosts.
Oh wow, that's a lot of boosts.
That's a lot of boosts.
It's not enough.
I don't think we have now. We do.
Are these don't have? Oh, they do have +2 on the back. Oh, okay.
Okay, so there's a +3. And this also, with the rare version, gets me to draw a card as well.
Oh, wow. Pretty solid. And it goes to your reserve. And with spells, you could play them a second time that turn, huh? If you have the mana.
I guess so, yeah.
Because they go straight to reserve. Interesting. Okay.
I do not have the mana, but yeah.
I have the mana for Yongsu Verdant Weaver, and I have 2 plants for it to gain the 2 boosts. I have one more 4/4/4 I can play. And I guess at this point, with you having 2 mana, I've got to hope that you can't play something that can win this, and I have to keep competing here, I think. But I'm already winning here.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I may have. Well, we'll see.
Where?
So what do you actually have down here right now? You have 5/5/5 and a 5/5/3. Okay, so you're already at 10.
Yeah. So in the we don't care about water here, so I have 10.
10 in the 10 in the forest rather.
To your 5/7. Yeah, it's hard with 2 mana. It's hard to see you closing because on mountain all right. So I'm struggling to think this through, but let me think this out. Since you're far from me on green, like you're not going to stop me from moving.
No.
So my question is, can you move using mountain, the orange, and you would still need to get +4
to make up the 3.
because you don't move on the tie, so you need 4. So I'm not seeing you do it. So do I even want to play this at all, or am I happy with it in my reserve? I don't know if next turn I'm going to have 2 plants. I'll go ahead and play it. So I'm going to play it up top because that's where I'm afraid you could snipe me and get 3 strength there. So this one says if you control 2 or more plants, gain 2 boosts. So it is a 4/4/4 up top.
Okay.
All right.
You know what 2 mana is just enough for, Brandon?
Oh no.
I'm going to intimidate Yongsu.
I didn't think of that. I should have played down bottom.
This has been your downfall twice now. It's a pretty rough card. But
you've gotten 2 copies of it in both of our games.
Exactly. It's come up both times. It's been super
I assume
flat.
there's 3 in your deck.
There are probably, actually.
There's 3. The starter decks have 3 of most of them.
Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. It seems to be a pretty big hinge of the deck.
Yeah. You're returning Yongsu.
I am turning Yongsu to your hand, so that...
Brutal. And that was my misplay to not play around that. I should have put this one down there to play around that.
Yeah.
Yep. Brutal. Well, I pass now. I'm not doing anything.
I will pass. That is
looks like you move your hero.
I will move up. They meet and have a lovely little chit chat in the middle of the map.
Which is what we were all here for.
Absolutely.
That chit chat.
Yeah, exactly. It's all just lovely social time. It's like a less aggressive game. They're just hanging out.
Yeah. I mean, you just meet lots of very the art is gorgeous. Lots of very pretty characters.
Yeah, exactly.
It is it's refreshing.
I think so too. Like it does the thing quite well where it has the veneer of hey, we are fighting on these lanes,
right.
But it doesn't do it in quite the same way that these games usually do, where it's,
you're
creatures
still
attacking each other.
It's true, where you're still stacking up their stats against each other in a way that is not
it's more like
that different from
exactly.
combat.
It's like a passive duel in both fights that don't feel so much about attack, defense,
right.
Et cetera, et cetera.
And then that flow is so, and this is what I think there's a lot of room for me to understand better and get better at playing it, is that flow of most characters leave play, go to your reserve, you get play it again.
Yeah, that exactly seems to be the biggest part of it, is knowing when it's advantageous to get stuff into your reserve, when to get stuff out of your reserve. Like that, there's it's almost like you said, this flow of play hands to play to reserve to back, and that you have to figure out that.
And it asks you to always be thinking at least one round ahead,
right?
Because you're thinking about what will be in my reserve next round,
and also crucially, what are things going to cost in my reserve versus what they cost.
Yes, and then while having 2 costs, one for hand, one for reserve.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I think it's a really smart game.
I think so too. I think that this could be one of those. I would easily believe this is one of the scenarios we talked about where my deck is a strong counter to the strengths of your deck.
It's and it seems like specifically that card.
Yes, exactly.
It's barely even your deck is a strong counter because it featers that one card.
Exactly, because you're banking on these big splashy green big cards to come out, and then I have that card's dead.
Yep. Yeah. That said, I could have played around it there and failed to do so, right? I think I would have stopped you from moving had I
you absolutely would have.
Yep.
Which is one of those funny things where I was trying to dance you to not worrying about the bottom as much. And,
yeah. Very cool. Well, good game.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for playing. I think we're planning on doing a little bit more altered video stuff in the near future. So please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We appreciate that. Join us for more altered soon. You can catch Neelan all over the Board Game Barrage podcasts anytime you like. And heck, there are over 300 episodes out. So
it's 6 years plus now, 300 episodes. It's been a long run.
You can
there's a lot of backlog to
keep yourself busy. Your all of your holiday travels with the Board Game Barrage backlog. All right, we'll be back soon. Till then, be optimal.
Bye bye.